Hey guys, this is Jay Calder with JAYONBOXING here giving you a personal prediction for Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte. And as always, this is just my take, of course. Your predictions can be left down in the comments section below. Would love to hear them all. And a little bit of fight info here. We have Garcia versus Duarte as mentioned. This will be at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, airing live on DAZN in the junior welterweight division with no titles on the line. Well, it looks as though Ryan Garcia is finally making his junior welterweight debut. Is it against a world beater? Possibly not. In fact, he's basically bringing up a lightweight to make the debut at 140 pounds with him. That said, Duarte isn't a pointless bum of a fighter by any means. He's a decent boxer. And with a faster start in his only loss as a professional, he might be an unbeaten fighter that can bang a little bit on top of that. To be fair, not the worst opponent for Garcia considering he is coming off the back of his own first loss. So how does Garcia deal with the new weight, the setback, the perhaps underrated foe? How will Duarte take Garcia's power, the big stage, the pressure? Let's break this one down and find out. Starting off with Garcia. For Garcia to win, you want to set up the left hook. That's your money shot. That's the shot you're looking for. Everyone knows it, but it can't just be thrown without setup because everyone knows it. People know that's what you want to do. So you have to find ways to kind of make them see something else before you throw it. You have to use that to your advantage, in other words. Throw feints, jab more with it, catch them off guard. Then, when you're starting to disguise it a bit more, the left hook can come off the jab. It can actually be turned over from the jab, but it can come from these angles or from these moments in the fight when they don't expect it as much because you have been disguising it and camouflaging it much more. Ultimately, as you move up and fight better fighters and more people see more and more of you, you have to have a little bit more sophistication with some of your best weapons. Otherwise, people will see them coming. They'll be telegraphed shots and they just won't have the same effect. So you have to find ways to hide that left hook, set it up a bit more, and you'll have better success with it. I would also say stay patient. You might go into this fight with something to prove, or maybe overlooking Duarte. Don't. In general, that's bad form. At worst, you're going to get caught that way and potentially stopped. At best, you might look sloppy, be tagged a bit more, and just get frustrated. Neither is a good look. Specifically for you, you're trying to work on some things, looking to improve. You need to find some rounds in this fight at the new weight class. Doesn't mean that you carry them or that you take them through the entirety of the fight, but it does mean that you want to make sure you're getting through the gears naturally as opposed to trying to force it. You also want to fear Duarte's power at 140 pounds anyway. Give yourself time to do that. He can bang a little bit again, new weight for him as well, but you just don't want to rush into something like that. Give yourself the time, then as you work through the gears more naturally, you can find that bit of spite in your shots and your work as the rounds wear on, and you'll have success. And finally, don't be so flat-footed. You seem so reliant on power that you fight with no real bounce, no rhythm to the way that you're trying to work here. You just seem so focused on landing that big shot. This isn't to say you're going to have to turn into Willie Pep in there and be bouncing all over the ring. Of course, that's not going to be who you are. But you want to allow yourself a bit more rhythm, to be a bit looser in this fight. You have natural speed. You have natural power. You do not need to look for it or to force it. Just let it happen. Relax. Get on your toes a bit more. Wait for those big moments to come. Again, this all kind of ties into the keys that I'm mentioning for you here. You don't need to force something. You don't need to have it happen immediately in this fight. Just allow for it to happen. Again, move around a little bit. Set up your shots a bit more. Be in better positions based on what you're allowing your feet to do as well. Once that happens, you can all tie it together and put forth a much better effort than if you're trying to push and force this fight out of yourself that just might not be there. Now, switching over to Duarte. For Duarte to win, you want to get a quick start. Starting slow has hurt you before. That was your only loss. You started slow in that fight by your own admission, and it cost you. You don't want to let it happen, especially against the elite, and Garcia is near the top of the sport. Plus, it makes sense in this particular case to start quicker here. You don't want Ryan working into the fight, regaining confidence, kind of building momentum. You want to keep him in a dark place. Bring him back there by pressing early and making him question some things, making him relive some of that torment that he might have gone through when he was not necessarily in complete control of a fight and ultimately lost. That's what you're looking to try and bring up in this fight. Furthermore, it will help you build confidence and get around any kind of timidness you might be going through as you're trying to work into this fight. If you can just get in there, get to the action, and start pressing forward, you have a much better chance of overcoming any of those obstacles than if you're really trying to catch up in a fight you've fallen behind in early. I would also say vary the left hand. Your left hand is your preferred weapon. However, it's a risky shot against someone that has a massive left of their own. Switch it up to at least give it some new looks and make it harder to counter. You have a snappy left hook at times, and of course when you're on the inside you can throw that, and that certainly can be used in those moments, but also make sure you're pumping out consistent jabs. Also, make sure you're tucking that chin and going to the body. Most importantly, keep that defensive hand up and tuck that chin. You just don't want to be countered in those moments. He does have the speed advantage, obviously. Ultimately, with that left hand, you just want to make it hard to read. Switch it up while you're being ready to defend, keeping it busy, using those jabs with it, maybe doubling it up at times, and of course go to the body as well, because Garcia has been hurt there, but make sure that it's switched up enough he can't get such a great read on it. You'll have more success with it. And finally, get inside and press. I don't think being too far outside suits you in this one. Garcia is faster and uses range a bit more. You just give him too much of the space he wants with that kind of mentality of fighting from the outside. Step in, again, by using that jab and pressing inside. This can also be helped along by starting fast early and getting Garcia used to backing up, and of course giving him different looks like that left hand. Once he's going back, his power is much less effective, as is most fighters, by the way, and you can step into your own, which of course is a benefit to you. Your shots will be more impactful, you'll also keep more of the momentum going your way, and this obviously favors you. As the rounds build on, you can really start pouring it on if he's not handling it well. But you'll only know that if you're getting inside, using that jab, using some movement to get there, some decent defense, and then pressing him in this fight. Now, in terms of my pick here, Duarte might make it interesting in spots, but I think Garcia comes back from his first loss with a win. New trainer, new weight, yes, but that might take some time, but I think he gets it done. I think Duarte tries to press, but will notice the speed and power of Garcia and likely starts looking for those single shots, probably countering. Garcia will look to move forward, and does, and will begin to land something more hurtful, but may struggle at times while Duarte shells up. However, I think Garcia catches Duarte after finally settling in, and a left hook during an exchange is ultimately what drops the Mexican. Don't think he's allowed to continue even if he beats the count. Winner, Ryan Garcia via late fight stoppage. Now, in terms of the betting odds here, you have Garcia coming in as a favorite as a -400, with Duarte coming in at a +275. You can find wider odds, slightly closer odds, but these are the ones I'm going with here. Considering Garcia, I think, for a lot of people's minds, is a heavy favorite in this fight because Duarte isn't such a known commodity, 4-1 is actually not that terrible. You just have to obviously risk more to win more in this situation. So it really depends on just how confident you are in Garcia against an unknown commodity coming back from his first loss. For Duarte, again, you're getting about 3-1 odds, not terrible. Maybe he's catching Garcia at the right time, possibly could justify a pick there, but in either event, you get actually relatively decent odds considering the kind of variables going into the fight for both men in terms of the money line. Haven't been able to find an over-under, so I'll certainly post that in the comments and pin it once I do. Haven't been able to find the over-under. I think most people think this fight gets stopped, but it kind of depends on the duration of the fight. If it's a 10-round or a 12-round fight, you're going to have a different line there. I'm going to presume it will be 10 rounds. Could be wrong about that. Again, I'll post it in the comments once I find this information out. But if it's a 10-round fight, I'm assuming that they probably pick around the 7th round. But again, don't want to speculate too much on that because I really don't know just yet. In any event, those are your odds. And my prediction record as of this recording is 37-12 with 24 exact. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Love to hear your thoughts, predictions, bets, so on and so forth. Of course, check out all the social media here. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that good stuff. And of course, be sure to visit JAYONBOXING.com for schedule, results, betting odds, rankings, grades, and more. And as always, until next time.